So there we go. So let's go digital asset mining. Digital asset mining, okay? We're talking about creating digital assets through mining. Now, note, we are not talking about buying meme coins, okay? By the way, Saturday, big event, digitalassetmining.net. That's the access site, okay? 1 o'clock. So, little disclaimer, since we are talking about money, this is educational. It's not financial advice. There's risk. You got to know your risk tolerance because you don't want to invest money you cannot afford to lose. You got to do your own research, your own due diligence, your own vetting. What I'm about to do for the next 8 or 10 minutes, this is not an official company presentation. This was not sanctioned by the leadership or ownership of Texit. It's for the benefit of the team and the team constituency. Okay. And typically the company does these official ones Tuesdays and Thursdays. Again, I don't work for Texit. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not an attorney. I'm not an accountant. I don't give legal or tax advice. And there's no guarantees, etc. Okay. The star of the show today is Texit, the company, a layer one token project, 100% based in Texas in the United States. But the real story is the ability to generate stable daily passive income. Okay. That's kind of the holy grail for some people. A lot of people like to wake up. Ooh, let me look at my phone, whatever. Ooh, look, I got $82 yesterday. Didn't do anything at all to get it. That's good. Even better if it's 300, even better if it's 2000. So the story of Texit is partly the ability to generate stable daily passive income by, okay, taking advantage of what this company offers. So what is Texit anyway, real quick? It's really the brainchild of the founder named Bobby Gray. This guy's been an enthusiast in the alternative currency space, not just Bitcoin, not just digital. A long time he was a big gold and silver advocate, which, by the way, a lot of people, I am as well. He's testified in front of Congress. He owned a gold and silver minting business. He sold that a couple of years ago and went all in on the digital side, crypto side, because he thought it was more accessible to the average person. Okay. Last year, 24, founded Texit as a way to kind of keep his work going and make it something everybody could get into. So the word cryptocurrency is here. So let's just define it. It's a digital currency. Okay. And it is something that is simple to transact. In order to do it, you need a wallet. But today, you could send money from Pennsylvania to Vietnam to Russia to Dubai to Canada back to here in like 10 seconds. Way faster because it's digital. It happens on the blockchain. The blockchain is like a giant ledger, kind of like an enormous spreadsheet that keeps track in things called blocks of everything that happens on it. It is a 100% unchangeable, immutable record. Okay. So you got these cryptocurrency tokens running on the blockchains. Okay. And when these get produced by the mine, okay, mining is the process where they create these tokens. Okay. There's a term, mesh mine. Okay. A mesh mine is a collective of lots of mines, all bunch of them, all working together. And here's the big difference. You could go and buy, in fact, I was looking at one today just to see, for like $109. You can buy a little thing. It's like the size of the, I don't know if those are old enough. Remember cassettes? The old cassettes had those plastic cases. You sort of open them up and the thing was inside. You can buy things about this big, that big, the size of a phone, maybe, and you plug it in to a USB port on your computer, and it will try to mine Bitcoin. And I say try to, because here's the problem. That little thing on your desk is competing with every other miner out there. In the Bitcoin mining world, it's all everybody for themselves. Every miner is trying to make the connections, trying to make the solutions to the problems so they get credit for the transaction. The big mines almost always win because they got a lot more hash power, which is essentially the horsepower of the mine. So is it mathematically, probability-wise possible that a little miner sitting on my desk could get some Bitcoin? Yes. Is it likely? No. So here's how Texit addressed that issue. They said, we're going to make one giant mine, 100 million mega hash mine eventually. And instead of everybody competing to get the results, everybody's going to share in the common results. So the mine makes as much as it can every single day, roughly 90,000 tokens. And instead of everybody competing for their share, everybody gets a piece of it distributed to them every single day based on the size of the share of the mine that they own. So you'll hear the terms, if you hang around the Texit world enough, you'll hear the terms, miner, hash power, stuff like that. Okay. And the miner is anybody who's a member who owns a share of the mine. And the hash power is basically the computing power that you own. Now, this is a picture, actual picture of one of the Texit mines. It's a whole bunch of computers in there doing their thing, running their algorithms, creating the tokens. These happen to be in a cooled vat or whatever you want to call that contraption in oil. It's the special mineral oil that they sit in. It's like 40 degrees. So it keeps the computers cool, keeps them healthy, keeps them running. Okay. So the amount of power that the mine has is called hash power. Each miner that you can obtain gives you a certain amount of hash power. Gives you a certain amount of hash power. Okay. And the more hash power you have, the larger the share of the mine you have, like the slice of the pie, and the more you get. Okay. So Texit, TXC, that's Texas versus Bitcoin. Most everybody who's ever heard of the crypto space, Bitcoin is definitely like the grandfather, preeminent thing of the whole thing. Like 85% of all value in cryptocurrencies in Bitcoin. It's $1 trillion plus. All the rest together are barely, 100 billion, something like that. Anyhow, doesn't really matter. So TXC, that is the pet project of the Texit project and Bobby Greene, his thing. Okay. And this is the comparison. It's a singular, clear mission. They created this for one reason, which was to help the people who don't have the mining, who have the miners, and the people in the economy, specifically in Texas. That's not what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is all over. Bitcoin, there's no singularity to it. Okay. It's a Litecoin clone. It's low fees. Bitcoin, especially if you try to do it lately, the fees are high because the blockchain is old. The blockchain has become outdated. TXC, all the statistics you want are on their dashboard. I could break them down in this presentation. I probably won't, but everything's there. I'm going to talk about the metrics and the parameters that they use in a little bit. You don't get that with Bitcoin. You got to really dig for it. It's out there. You got to know how to get into the backs of the explorers and the transaction hash monitors and all that. So I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying TXT is better than Bitcoin or Bitcoin is better than TSC. They're just designed in a similar way, but their reality of how they're created and how they're managed is different. Okay, so let's talk about this, the Texit program, mining, and how you can reward. This is a mining program. Okay, anybody who gets involved, anybody who's a miner has a share of the giant collective crowd-funded mine. This makes three tokens, Litecoin, which is also LTC, Doge, which was real big, maybe 5 years ago, is giant, and TXC. The company keeps the Doge and Litecoin. They use it sometimes to sell and pay off expenses or build up the liquidity pool. Okay, somebody asked me, they have a liquidity pool. Yes, it's 10 and a half, almost $11 million now. Okay, so this is what they're producing. All right, here's the business model. And I think this is very attractive. It is a one-time cost. That's it. You come in once, you purchase what you want. You can add to that if you want later. You get lifetime benefits, literally 132 years. Okay, most people are not going to live that long. All right. There are no hosting fees. Anybody in programs with hosting fees? I am. No monthly fees. I'm also in programs that have monthly fees. No sharing fees. I'm also in programs where you got to pay extra if you want to be in an affiliate program. No ongoing fees. One time, done. Unless you decide to get more, but that's it. It's very attractive that way. Here's the key too. daily, stable, passive income. And you have access to your gains, your tokens, your rewards 100% of the time. Every single day, roughly 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, Eastern time, we get our token rewards. You could take them 5 minutes later, sell them, cash them out if you want. That's up to you. No restriction. So, the metaphorical operative question: do you want to own the mint, or do you want to own the currency it produces? If you want to kind of turn this around, do you want to own the miner, or the mine, or the tokens? You own the tokens, you get them once. They're sitting in your wallet. You're just dependent on price. You own the miner every day, more tokens, more tokens, more tokens, more tokens. 365 days a year, 132 years. This is what creates the passive revenue. Okay, so this company's growing. When I got in, there were like 4,000 members. They're pushing 50,000 now. Okay, this is the net hash rate of the big mine. It's actually pushing 18 million mega hash. I could probably upgrade these charts. They're about 2 weeks old, but they're fundamentally accurate. Point is, they're adding lots and lots of people. The week I joined, 7 days period I joined, 38 new members. Today, 310. So you can see the growth right there. Last thing, the company has set up a business plan that has 3 phases. Okay, right now they are in the middle early of the first phase. The first phase will be considered done when this mine they're building now, which is based primarily in Texas, is complete. They're considering it complete when they have 100 million mega hash. Oh, what did I just do? 100 million mega hash. Right now they're at about 18. They're a little under a fifth done. They figure they're going to have about 250,000 members at that point. They're a little under 50. They figure they're going to be putting out about 120,000 tokens a day. That's a little higher at 95. Their liquidity pool, 200 million. A lot of cash to have in reserve, but you got to support what's out there. 15 million 5 now total. The goal will be the token price at $16.65. Right now, it's about $4.20. So if you got in today, you're looking at about a 4x just on your token of appreciation. So roughly speaking, the phase 1 will be considered done, and the targets for this are roughly in the late summer or so, maybe fall, early fall of next year. Not that far off considering when they started. Then they'll go into phase 2. Phase 2, there's been discussions about, nothing concrete. May include opening other mines, Asia, Singapore, Dubai, South America, Canada. Lots of discussions. Creating maybe in other states. Maybe they do it Florida token, Arizona token, California token, whatever. Pennsylvania token, I don't know. But ultimately, their goal is to get this to a 4-digit priced token. And the cool thing about mining is, remember, you're getting them every day. Tokens we get today, if you just hold them, they're going to value increases as the price increases. So that's all I got for you today. This is kind of the first half of this presentation. If you come back on Saturday, you will also see the second half, which is based on the sharing revenue affiliate compensation plan. All right. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm also going to stop recording. Yes, clap away.